setia, inovatif, integratif, ilmu diterokai, warisan budaya sumber asli, keusahawanan teras kami, kekayaan akal dan budi, mendidik insan yang sejati. Merintis perubahan terkini demi-Mu yang Maha Pencipta, merealisasi visi menjadi realiti demi negara yang tercinta. Relevan, unik dan berbeza, rencana peradaban bangsa, janji kami pada semua, taburi jasa di mana jua. Merintis perubahan terkini demi-Mu yang Maha Pencipta, merealisasi visi menjadi realiti demi negara yang tercinta. Relevan, unik dan berbeza, bencana peradaban bangsa, janji kami pada semua, taburi jasa di mana jua. Universiti Malaysia Kelantan terbilang UMK.
Yang kami sayang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program webinar. I'm honored to serve as your moderator for today's event, and I'll be guiding you through this insightful session. Today we have an exciting lineup for you as we delve into the world of emerging technologies and explore the possibilities that they offer. Our esteemed speaker, Mr. Johan Krebbers, brings a wealth of experience and expertise to the table. And allow me to introduce him a bit. Mr. Johan Krebbers is a distinguished professional who has been at the forefront of innovation in the tech industry. Since August 2021, he has been a part of the DNB Enterprise Strategy team, where he leads the Emerging Technologies team. In this role, he is responsible for developing and enhancing 5G-enabled digital service across various verticals such as energy, seaports, logistics, and more. So his expertise in this domain makes him the ideal person to shed light on the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program and the opportunities it presents for aspiring students. Before we proceed, let me take a moment to thank Ericsson and DNB, of course, as the leading companies and institutions in the telecommunication industry for providing this exceptional free online module on AI, data science, IoT, and blockchain. Their commitment to fostering innovation and empowering students is truly commendable. Now let's move on to the main focus of today's webinar, the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program. This program offers a unique opportunity for Malaysian students, including UMK students, to gain knowledge and expertise in these cutting-edge technologies. Through this free online module, participants will be equipped with the skills needed to thrive in the digital era and contribute to Malaysia's technological landscape. During today's session, Mr. Johan Krebbers will share insights and provide valuable information about the program, highlighting its benefits and transformative impact it can have on the participants' future careers. The module covers AI, data science, IoT, and blockchain, areas that are revolutionizing industries worldwide. This program truly opens doors to limitless possibilities. Before we conclude, I would like to share my contact information with all of you. Should you have any questions, you can ask questions. And basically for this event, if you have any questions to Mr. Johan, or he prefers to call him Johan only, you can put the questions in the comment section, and then I will read through questions to Johan to answer your questions. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Without further ado, let's dive into the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program and explore the exciting opportunities that await us. Please keep in mind that today's session will be, of course, in the UMK official Facebook Live, and meaning you can always refer and watch it again in the future. So without further ado, I would like to pass over the session to Johan. Over to you, Johan.
Thank you very much. Can we get my slides to the front?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Much obliged and much appreciated for the time from allowing me to present this afternoon for you students of the UMK. Yeah, we first of all, in the first part of this presentation, we're going to let me first go to what I'm going to talk about. Let's first talk about the world of digital, because when people talk about My5G and etc., it is in the context of the world of digital, and it's important that you understand what we mean with the world of digital and why it's so relevant. I mean, I give you an example. I was in a session this morning with Microsoft, and the VP from Petronas, responsible for group technology, was also presenting, and he said that of the 54,000 staff in Petronas, 20,000 staff so far now had followed digital training. And he mentioned all the elements of digital training we're going to talk about today. And this is just one example of a company. He says he made it very clear that for all his members, all his staff need to be fully digital awareness already. And the program he's talking about is exactly the same program we're going to talk about this afternoon, and which we have made available to you. But it just shows you the importance of digital. I'm going to explain that more in a moment. Now, after we talked about digital, we're going to talk about, okay, where do you apply digital? What's all about? So then we talk about the 12 verticals, and then we're going to give some examples how digital can help business problems to solve. And then we're going to talk about the training, the training class we spoke about before, what's all about, how you can follow it, what's the details, and how it can help you. And that we leave about 50 minutes at the end for any other questions you might have. So let's first talk about digital. It's very important you understand what digital is all about. So let's talk about the world of digital. You might have heard about it. Of course, you have heard the word digital, of course, but in this case, the digital context is all about how you run your business. So how you run your business in a digital fashion. And what's so special about running your business in a digital fashion is the data element. But there's no digital without data. And I mean, if you look at traditional businesses, people might be using PowerPoint, Excels, or presentations to show the data and run their businesses. In the world of digital, you take the operational data as you collect in the field or in a hospital or wherever you are, and use that data to conduct your businesses, to make your decisions. So the data you're using is much more accurate, is much more real as you run your business, and we're going to see examples of that in a moment. And that data is then used to drive AI, artificial intelligence. Of course, you have heard about the word AI many times, because it's on the news every 5 minutes. If you hear about OpenAI and ChatGPT, it's all about AI. And we're going to talk about that whole end-to-end story of digital and AI, how it all fits together. But the first thing is, digital has a number of building blocks which together form the digital workflow. And you might say, hey, why is DNB talking about it? Because DNB is really accountable for the rollout of 5G across Malaysia. And we, by the end of this year, we should have reached 80% of Malaysia being covered by fully 5G. 5G enables digital, but 5G is just one element of digital. I'm going to talk much broader. I'm going to talk about blockchain. I'm going to talk about IoT, because all these components together give you the digital solution, the different ways of working, and we explain that in a moment. Let's go next one. Yeah, this is the typical digital workflow. It's important you understand that, because we're going to talk also in the program we're going to talk about later, the training. There will be 14 hours of the 42 hours where this will explain with lots of examples. This is a typical workflow. What does it mean? At the top you see at the left you see devices. Digital is all about collecting data from anywhere, and I'll give examples in a moment. Use that data, store that data. So in the cloud, you see it under number 4. You see cloud storage and storage over the cloud data and storage, and then use that data to make information out of it, and using AI, artificial intelligence, with machine learning or machine vision to make information out of it, which is under 5. And then you tell the decision maker what to do. Let me give an example of a hospital. In a hospital, the scans are being produced. So the scans are produced under item 1, under devices. So you have lots of scans being used with MRI scans and other types of scans. But of course, these scans need to be analyzed. So we store these scans under item 4 under cloud storage, and then using AI, machine learning, or in this case machine vision, to analyze these scans to see, okay, where are the suspect spots on these scans. So the scan has been analyzed by machine vision, and then the results of that scan analyzed will go to the doctor, and machine vision will tell the doctor of this scan, only look at this particular point, look at that particular point, look at that particular point, because that is suspect. The rest of the scan is fine. So what does it mean? In normal, if you would not have AI, the doctor would have to look at the whole scan, because he or she does not know where the suspect points are. He has to look at the whole scan. When you have AI here, artificial intelligence, machine vision, the machine vision will look at that scan first, and then will analyze the scan and say, oh, I see where the issues are, and tell then the doctor, please look at these 2 points. So the doctor, as a patient, you're best off over here when you have a good doctor with AI, because you will have the best results of that scan. So that is applying digital in a hospital. It's just one simple example. We have many different examples we're also already applying in Malaysia. But it shows you that also the doctor needs to understand digital, because this doctor in our example needs to understand about AI, because he needs to have trust in AI that will do the job as suspect. But we have examples of any of these jobs. But it's always about you collect data, relevant data, lots and lots of data, you store that data somewhere, then you apply AI to it to make you get information out of it, and then you use that to tell the decision maker what to do. So this is standard workflow. Over here you see it applied to banking and finance, but there's no difference. I can give you example for manufacturing, for airports, for healthcare, for any industry, and I give you examples for that in a moment. So you need to understand this workflow. This will explain in great detail of that course, the My5G course we were talking about. There will be about 14 hours just to talk about this, with lots of examples, because you understand the basics of digital. So you start understanding AI, you start understanding IoT, you start understanding virtual reality, and all these things, and how they all fit together. Here I gave, in the yellow bar over here, you see some underpinning technologies you might have heard about. You will have heard about sensors. Take your iPhone. Your iPhone has many sensors. Think your camera is a sensor on your iPhone. Your location sensor is a sensor on your iPhone. These are sensors collecting data. So, and of course, sensors will be on many different devices. Will be in cars, will be in machines, or what have you. But what sensors do? Collecting data about these devices. IoT, Internet of Things, is all these sensors together, all these hundreds and thousands of sensors together, collecting data, is what we call Internet of Things. All these sensors collecting data, and the data will be stored here in the cloud compute and storage. At an edge, What is EDS? EDS is compute facilities, and you're going to learn about it all later. EDS is compute facilities close to the source, and I'll give examples of that later. So these yellow bars are underpinning digital technologies, which we'll explain in great detail at the course we're talking about a moment ago, and we'll talk about it more in the future. Then the other building blocks are AI, machine learning. Machine learning, you've heard about AI, of course. Machine learning is one example of AI. It helps you predict future failure. If you go to Petronas will have offshore platforms, and they're producing oil and gas and maybe other things. And now you want to know if something's going to fail over there, that you want to know that before it's going to fail. And machine learning will help you with that. Machine learning will tell the Petronas engineer, I know that this particular component is going to fail in the next 5 days. You better replace it before it fails. So AI machine learning is predictive nature. I gave Petronas example. You can go to any industry. Yeah, any industry where this is applicable. The other one is machine vision, AI MV. Machine vision is looking at images, so look at camera pictures, and really say, hey, I see a problem over there. Oh, hey, I see problems with congested areas, and then tell the operator what to do. So machine vision is looking at image data, see problems over there. Problems could be, if it is quality assurance, about the quality of certain things. Proton will be using it, or might be using it, machine vision, to select it, to make sure that the cars at the end have no faults. You use machine vision, and if the car has a fault, machine vision will immediately say, there's a fault over here, there's a fault over there, and there's a fault somewhere else. And a virtual reality or augmented reality, if you're a gamer, of course you know about VR, virtual reality, because that's really showing the virtual world to you. Augmented reality means I have a real world, and on top of that, I have a virtual world. Both are becoming more and more important, not just for gaming. Many industries also go to hospitals, and we are testing today these type of technologies. For instance, in KPG over in Malaysia, where we're using also artificial augmented reality to really look at material of people. And of course, blockchain was mentioned before. The metaverse, of course, you've heard about that. It's really a collection of all these services, bringing that together. But these are all building blocks of a digital solution. So if you work in any industry and any consumer, but this is not for IT people. If you're a doctor, you are going to use augmented reality, and you would like to know a little bit what it's all about. If you're going to be a lawyer, you are going to use AI and machine vision. Yeah. So that's why the training we talk about, the My5G Ericsson Malaysian Pioneers program, is all about making sure that whatever study you're going to do, whatever job you're going to do in future, that you have the underpinning of this technology. And it was made very clear this morning in the session at Microsoft by the VP from Petronas. They expect everybody to have digital awareness. Ideally, they expect to have that when you come into the company. And that's exactly what we try to, it's exactly the program we put together, and we're going to explain to you in a moment. These are two examples, very simple examples. You see the blockchain. You're going to learn all about blockchain in this My5G program. The blockchain is all about, in this case, proof of origin. Can you prove that what you've been doing really is the case? And the digital twin is for the energy companies, where you can show real time the facilities. You see a picture over here where an operator looks at a virtual image of the total facility real time. He sees exactly what happens. If there's a problem, immediately will see there's a leakage, etc. That's all about digital. Is all about 5G in this case, because we make it real time. So this gives you the world of digital. So look, the world of digital is everybody, whatever your job, whether you're going to be a nurse, a doctor, you name it, whether you want to work in manufacturing, in entertainment, you name it, every world will change because of digital. And I gave some examples that a moment ago. So it's vitally important when you go into the society after you study, and indeed also already during your study, you know exactly what digital is all about. And not from an IT point of view, because that course is not about learning from an IT point of view, but from a user's point of view, how you can make use of it. Yeah. So what did we do also in DNB? We identified in Malaysia what are the 12 critical verticals. Verticals are industries. You see agriculture, airports and airlines, entertainment, healthcare. And for each of these industries, we said, what are the pain points today in that industry? What is causing problems? And then we said, okay, for each of these pain points, we said, okay, what can digital solutions help the enterprise to solve that problem? So you see here the 12 verticals. Yeah, you see, and these are all being developed by DNB. So seaports, what are the pain points in seaports? And then we say for each of these industries, we said, okay, what are the pain points? Here you see 6 pain points for manufacturing. And the first one, number 1, is unplanned downtime impacting production. Which is awkward, of course, but if you're a manufacturing site, you want to make sure your production is running all the time. And you want to avoid unplanned downtime, because that's costing real money because you lose production. If you go to Proton and you have an unplanned downtime on your car manufacturing, not nice because you lose production that day. So what can unplanned downtime, how can it be prevented, is by making sure that we're collecting data of the critical elements of the production line and then analyze the data with AI machine learning to see what component is going to fail in the coming days. Because with data, it's all about data. With data, you can really see that coming before it actually is going to happen to you. So we've worked this out. If you go to the DNB home site, so DNB space home site, you find all 12 verticals and you find all the pain points with each vertical and also how we work them out. Yeah. So it's just a nice thing to look at. You can look at your own industry you have an interest in, and you can see what are the pain points in that particular industry. But again, these are all crucially important, how to do business in a different way. I will skip these. This is an example of you see at the top again, the same line I gave you before. Devices, connectivity, edge computing. The same item I showed you before is the same workflow again. But now applied unplanned downtime. So I'm collecting certain amounts of data and applying then under application services, AI, machine learning or machine vision, whatever is applicable to make information out of data. Because you can collect lots and lots of data, but if you get no information out of the data, then of course you're wasting everybody's time. And really, it's important that you're really collecting information out of that data. And this is an example where we do that under application services. So it's the same workflow all the time, but now applied for this particular pain point. So important digital technologies. So we talked about sensors. Sensors all about collecting data. And we gave a simple example. Sensor, remember, is your smartphone or your iPhone. But of course, go to a car, we'll have lots of sensors. Go to your bike, we'll have several sensors. Go to any other piece of equipment or other things you are using at home, we'll have sensors collecting data. And of course, very important in manufacturing, in the enterprise business, because that's all about why are the sensors important? Because it collects data, and the data will help you to run a more efficient business. Like if you go to plantations, the sensor will collect data about water levels. So we know the plantation owner can know how across the plantation, when implemented, what are the different water levels, or where does he have less water or more water, or where does he has to do something about it or not. So that's about machine learning. So any type of data, and machine vision is all about images from cameras. And I gave you one example about quality. I gave you another example. You have in combination with 5G, for instance. Here's another example. For instance, you have a drone flying, a 5G drone. So it's a drone in 5G with a running camera and a 4K camera on it. And that camera is, for instance, doing power line inspection. We do a project like that, for instance, with Petcam. With ceramic energy, where we're using 5G drones. They fly then do inspection of the power lines. The data, the camera images are being sent real time to machine vision in the Singapore data center, because we don't have yet a Microsoft data center in Malaysia, but that happens later this year, to the Singapore data center. We apply machine vision to that data. The machine vision can then see in real time, are there problems with these power lines? And if so, it will tell the drone immediately what to do, real time. Yeah, it all happens real time as we speak. Yeah, so it tells the drone, fly back again to that same spot and have another look, because we want to have a better image, because it looks like there's a problem out there. This is an example of camera images being used real time with, in this case, with power line inspections by Sarawak Energy. But I can give you lots and lots of other examples in many industries. Okay, sorry, this is not. Yeah, this is, I will keep this. I hope you can still see the screen, because I get some error message over here. But okay, let's continue. Yeah, I will skip these for now, because we already talked about improving uptime a moment ago, so that we can skip this for now. So this gives you an example. We first talked about digital, why digital is so important, and what are the elements of digital, like remember, virtual reality, augmented reality, AI, IoT, blockchain, web. They're all part of the digital story. You have the standard digital workflow, and a digital applies to every industry, to every activity in life you can think about, whether it's your private life or in the enterprise world. So it has an impact everywhere. So now we're going to talk, okay, how will, by following the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers program, how will it help you to really understand this world and be better prepared for the future? And I'll try to say it over here, but I will come back to this slide in a moment. What happened over here? What's the story behind this? The story behind this is we got together with the Minister of Higher Education in March, April last year. We being digital and DNB, we said we really want to develop for Malaysia, for the Malaysian higher education. So there's all public universities, private universities, polytechs, and all colleges, really develop a digital training program, because it's so vitally important for every student to understand the world of digital, how it will impact his life, how it will impact when he goes looking for a job later. So that is not about IT, it's about how will it impact, how can it help your jobs in the future. And we said it's important that it goes for every student, because often people say, oh, that's only meant for an IT student or for a technical student. No, this is meant for every student, whether you go for law, whether you be an artist, whether you go in a media market. If you go to media market, is a good example. Media is all about digital. Already happening today, and even more so in the near future. So we want to make sure that every student in Malaysia, that we bring the digital level of awareness in Malaysia to a high level. And why would DNB worry about it? Well, DNB brings, of course, 5G into the Malaysian market, but we very much realize 5G in itself will not solve your business problems. 5G is only part of the whole story. 5G is part of the digital story. And remember, always, you used to have 4G on your mobile phones. 4G digitized the consumer market. 5G is going to digitize the enterprise market. So 5G, of course, you're going to get 5G on your private phones, but 5G is far more important for the enterprise market, because the enterprise will be digitized because of 5G. Why is that the case? Because 5G has much more bandwidth than 4G, so I can transport far more data than with 4G. Secondly, it has much lower latency. And what does that mean, lower latency? I can run my business real time. I gave the example of the drone. The drone example I just gave you a couple of minutes ago can only happen with 5G. Can never happen with 4G, can never happen with Wi-Fi, because you don't have the capacity to run your business real time. 5G take about autonomous activities, take about buses, cars, or what have you. It's all about 5G. So this is all why we started this program. Okay, how can we support the digitalization of Malaysia for all students? And we, as I mentioned, we target all higher education. In Malaysia, there's about over 500 institutions of higher education. We target all 500. Where are we today? Just bring in perspective. We started on January 11 with all public universities, about 20. Then in March, we started with the 64 MAPCO private universities. And very soon we'll start with the polytechs, and the last group will be the colleges. Yeah, they all get the same training material in the same fashion. But it really, it's so important that everybody goes for this. Every student goes for this. It's so important for your own development. You know what's going to happen. And as I mentioned before, I remember the statement from the Petronas this morning when he, not asked for, made that statement to the audience. So if you look at this training program, it has 3 modules. Modules 1, 2, and 3. Every module is on average 14 hours, 1-4. And they be offered as micro credentials. So they're not yet part of your curriculum. Over time, we want to do that, but to speed up things, we start them as micro credentials. You follow them online at your own pace whenever you feel like it. There are no costs involved. I repeat, there are no costs involved. So there are 3 modules. Modules 1, 2, and 3. We're going to explain them in a moment. We started with micro credentials at this moment. Maybe in the future, we'll move this also to a curriculum, but today is micro credentials driven. So the 3 modules. So the online module 1 gives you the overall workflow. You remember at the beginning I talked about the digital workflow with these steps of devices, etc. That we explained there in detail with examples, what is the type of technology, but it gives you the end-to-end story. So you understand how data relates to AI, how AI relates to machine vision, how AI relates to virtual reality, augmented reality, how blockchain relates to this, how Metasphere relates to this, Metasphere related to this, etc. That's what module 1 is all about. It's 14 hours online at your own pace. It's text, videos, etc. After each module, there will be a test, and a test is the assessment we talked over here, and you have to make 60% to go to be able to say you have a positive result of this. Module 2 is taking a number of these digital building blocks and explain them to a great level of detail. An important part is data. Data is often forgotten in any enterprise. But data is, there's no digital without data. So data is the most important building block of your digital story. So be well aware of that. And then module 3 are the other building blocks. So after each module, you get an assessment, 60%, you get an automatic letter where you get, let's say you have passed 60%. And once you've done all 3, you get an electronic badge. You see them over here, the digital badge, which you can put in your LinkedIn account and say, hey, I made it, I did the digital badge. So in total, you've spent about 3 times 14 hours, about 42 hours. It's at your pace. Yeah, there's when you can stop at any time. Next time you start again, it will continue where you left at the previous time. Of course, you can normally would do module 1, 2, and 3. If you want to do in any other order, you can do that. Makes not much sense to do that because it's a build-up, but you have the freedom to do that. But you have to do all 3 modules to get the badge in the end. Yeah, and I remember we had so far, just to give you an idea, so far we've about, when I looked this morning, 3,700 people have subscribed to it. We have now so far 114 people in Malaysia who got the badge. So they started a couple of months ago and they got the badge as they made it through all 3, etc. But think about it. We expect these numbers to be much higher because we expect that if you look at a typical public university, we expect at least every student over there or private university will follow these training classes at their own aspect. But so these are the 3 modules. We explain them a little bit in a moment. We spoke about this, of course. Let me talk about this one over here. Here you see a great level of detail, the 3 modules again. So module 1 on the left, you go through each of the steps of that workflow. An assessment at the bottom. And module 2, we're going to talk about data, because data is so important, real-time data, different data types, data platforms, APIs, etc. All that stuff you're going to hear about. And then we talk about AI machine learning and AI machine vision. So machine learning was all about predicting future, spoke about, and machine vision was all about look at image data and see spot leakages, spot other problems, spot the damage. If you have a drone flying over a facility, you'll use machine vision to real-time analyze the data of that drone and immediately see, oh, there's a problem out here, oh, there's a problem out there, I have to do something over here, I have to do something over there. And then, of course, the assessment. And then module 3, we'll talk about cloud. This is all underpinned by cloud. I mean, cloud, you most likely you know about. It's good that you understand that all this is cloud-based, cloud, and cloud again. So you can think about Microsoft Azure, you can think about AWS, you can talk about Google Cloud Platform, you can think about Alibaba. And you know that these major providers like Microsoft will have a cloud data center in Malaysia. Second half this year. Amazon will have a cloud data center in Malaysia second half of next year. So we also have the facilities well spotted over here in Malaysia. And of course, blockchain, and then we've got cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, of course, was forgotten, but is of course underpinning all of this. So this is what you're going to get. So after these 3 modules, you should be proud of yourself because you really understand digital, what it can do for you. It gives you lots of examples in your own environment because you have to develop your own examples as well. So it's highly interactive, but you decide the pace. So nobody else apart from you to say how fast or how slow you go. Here you see the modules 2 or 3, as I may explain to you in a moment. Yeah, how do you register? We'll provide you. It's over here. That see it over here very well. There is, but you will get one link. If you that will be provided via the university. There's one link. In that link, you have a form to fill out. In the form, you only fill out your name, your name of the university, and some other things, and that's it. You register yourself. You fully the university. All the university has to do is make sure the university is being registered, and your university has been registered in the system. That means you can just log on, start working, and then start doing it at the pace you see fit over here. So it's very straightforward. There is a single point of every university has a single point of contact. He's on the line over here. So which is the interface between DNB and the university, and also the focal point at the university. And of course, it's important that you go across all faculties, because often people, of course, university has several faculties. This is unique because it goes across every faculty to reach every student. And there's ongoing support by DNB, by myself, and Dr. Helmi. Here you see some other, I put this one in. Here, if you go here, you see reasons why this is applicable to every type of student. What I say over here, well, what impact of medical doctor, we spoke about it. If you're in the energy business, if you're a lawyer, if you're developing gaming software, if you go into the farming, you go into plantations or smart farming, if you go into logistics, if you want to become a teacher at the university school, I can do for every job. But these are examples why digital is important to that role, and why it's important as a student. You must know about it because it's your future. Yeah, it's the future of this. The future of this country. If the Prime Minister talks about, I want to go into higher skills, I want to do digital, he needs to have the people to underpin that, because we can roll out 5G until the cows come home, and we can have the most sexy 5G in the world you can think about, the fastest, whatever you want. But if you don't have the people, so how to exploit 5G, how to exploit digital, it's a waste of time. Yeah, so that's why the students are so important, because these are the students who will go into industries, who will start developing software to help the 5G business out there, or to help the digital business over for Malaysia. I won't give a demo in this over here today, but this is really the 45 minutes. I did a little bit faster. The 45 minutes just to bring you to date. First, remember, it's all about digital. You should remember now why that's important. Everything is impacted by digital. You name it, is impacted. Think about that. Every student should know about it. I mean, I didn't give example of a lawyer. Why would a lawyer need to know about digital? Well, a lawyer reads lots of data, has produced lots of text. AI can help him produce end of text. I mean, look at ChatGPT. Can help that lawyer. OpenAI, ChatGPT can help that lawyer to produce lots and lots of standard text, validate the text, and make sure it's okay. So it's all about knowledge in AI, which can help a lawyer. So we talked about the different jobs, the different verticals it applying, and then we talked about the training. So the training is available live, online, free of charge, at your own pace. If you really take the opportunity, go for it, because it's important for you. It's also important for this country. Let me hand over now back to our moderator. So maybe you want to take over. Does anybody still hear me?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Johan, for such a wonderful sharing on My5G Ericsson Pioneers Program. I think they have shared a lot to us, and I'm sure that they have a lot of things to ask probably, but because we just have 1 hour for today's session, and I believe apart from asking some of the questions to you, I really and strongly advise and encourage all participants who have not joined this program, My5G Ericsson Pioneers Program, to join this program, which is 100% free, and it is available online. You can basically get further information about this program via your respective faculty representative. They are all faculty representatives among the lecturers at EMK from each faculty. I've got one question for you, Mr. and Johan.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes, right. Please go ahead. It's Johan, you know.
Okay. I believe you are aware that there is a rising concern among within the society. I mean, some people are thinking that AI and data science are replacing most of the jobs in the future, and this is basically one of the concerns among the youngsters, because they are the future people who are going to look and search for the jobs, right?
Yeah.
So some of them think that because of the AI, and then their job prospects are getting narrower, and they have less chance to get the jobs. So what do you, as an expert in AI and data science, what is your take and advice in this issue?
Yeah, a good question, and it also came up this morning in the one. But let's. I mean, I'm an old guy. You can see I'm a very old guy. You guys are youngsters. I'm an old guy. But we had very similar discussions. I remember when we started robotics, when we started with those type of technologies. In the end of the day, the number of jobs increased. The same what is expected to happen with AI. Of course, there are jobs to disappear. I gave you some examples of that. But new jobs, of course, at the end of the day, AI doesn't come out of itself. There's still human being behind it who manage the data, collect the data, make sure we're collecting the right type of data, make sure that we develop the AI modeling. So, and for that, you still need people who understand the business. If you think about developing an AI model, that is not happening. That doesn't happen in splendid isolation. For that, you need somebody who understands the business very well. We call him SME, a subject matter expert. That person works together with the data scientist to come to the right AI models. But you don't assume that the data scientist in its magic, in blindness, can do all this in splendid isolation. No, he or she will need to work with an SME, a subject matter expert, who understands the energy business, who understands the entertainment business, who understands the doctor's job, because that combination can only create the models to do the things I spoke about before. So yes, there will be jobs disappearing, but several other jobs. The whole management of data, which today just doesn't happen, the collection of data and the whole move to real time, because you have to remember, most of the activities you do today are not in real time. So we're moving to a very new world, new ways of working, new different things. So I'm not afraid. It is best for these things that you know these things, because if you're going to set outside, You don't even know what hits you. Now you understand, oh, this is what it all means. Oh, this is the best way I can prepare for it. So it's always best to be proactive and go for it and find out, because then you're prepared for it. You can prepare far better for it and think, oh, but now I'm going to do this job because I see that this job becomes very relevant. Or I'm not going to do this job because these jobs become less relevant. So the more you know about things, the more, if you follow this trend, you know about it, you immediately say, oh, this way can apply in this industry or that industry. So go for it. Prepare yourself by knowing. You don't prepare by, you do not prepare yourself by not knowing.
All right. Thank you for your answer just now. I think it's very clear. So we know that AI is not actually just making some of the jobs irrelevant, but it also comes along with a lot of new opportunities in the job industry, right? As we mentioned just now. All right. Thank you for such a wonderful answer. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of this enlightening webinar on the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program. On behalf of the organizing team, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Johan Krebbers, for sharing his invaluable insights and expertise with us today. Your wealth of knowledge has undoubtedly inspired all of us. I would also like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you, our attentive audience, for joining us and actively participating in the session. Your presence and engagement have truly made this webinar a success. As we conclude, I would like to make a special appeal to all attendees. The My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program offers a unique and unparalleled opportunity for aspiring students to explore the realms of AI, data science, IoT, and blockchain. I encourage each of you to take advantage of this extraordinary chance to further your knowledge and skills in these transformative fields. By joining the program, you can unlock new pathways to personal and professional growth. Remember, the journey to success begins with seizing opportunities, and the My5G Ericsson Malaysia Pioneers Program is one such opportunity that should not be missed. I urge you to delve deeper into the program's details, sign up, and embark on a transformative learning experience. Once again, thank you, Mr. Johan Krebbers, for sharing your expertise, and thank you to our wonderful audience for your unwavering support.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to do it, of course.
All right, thank you. Wishing you all the best in your pursuit of excellence. Stay inspired, stay curious, and keep pushing the boundaries of innovation. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for organizing this.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.